Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My hotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I am your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I'm so pleased to be with you here on my live broadcast on my own platform here at Vicki Dillard TV on YouTube, beloved. I do have a little bit of a ritual that as you come in, be sure to come in giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and be sure to share the broadcast with you. Family, I have an appointment here in just a little bit, but I wanted to pop on really, really, really quick because I wanted to uh, give commentary to something that just took place. My understanding during J0e Reid's latest broadcast, which was a few hours ago, last evening, I believe. So, family, come on in, beloved. Hey there, Rashida. Hey, Tropical Punch. Hey, Beam. Hey, Diane. Hey, Jessica. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, share, share. Share, 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 share. Now, family, I want you all to listen real, real good, okay? Are y'all ready? I want you all to get ready. Thank you, beloved. Beautiful dress. Thank you. It's my two-piece. Thank you so much, sis. So, family, I want you to listen to this real quick. Give me just 1 second so that I can set this up. This clip, by the way, that I'm going to show you is protected under the Copyright Act of 1976, which is, of course, the Copyright Act. Family, on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button, would you? Hit that thumbs up button on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I love you back, Marlon. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, family, now watch this. Okay, give me just 1 second. Let me get this. Thank you all so much for giving us a big thumbs up. We ask that you do that earlier in the broadcast because it helps to notify other folks that we're here. It activates, allegedly, the algorithm so other folks will know that we're here. Of course, I get complaints all the time that many of you don't, unfortunately, receive the notifications. So when you send out the notifications, you ensure that happens on your own, regardless to who or what. Talk black to me, somebody. So everybody hit that thumbs up button for me. Share, share, share. Be sure to comment. And beloved, if you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to the Vicki Show. Yes, be sure that you are subscribed to my broadcast here. Now, family, without further ado, you all know that we have given mainstream media that everlasting work. We've given mainstream media that everlasting work because it's mainstream media that have failed to be effective guardians of knowledge and hold their government accountable, which is two very key things that they're responsible for. But what does one do when you are not a graduate from their institutions, when you have not been given the okay or the approval to work with, for, or in their particular establishments or institutions, and specifically legacy media, right? What happens when they control the media, they control the money, they control who's seen by the masses? They effectively just shut you out. Is that right, family? So what do? Well, you use what you have in your hand. Talk black to me, somebody. So we started to use, and I'll speak for myself, I started to use alternative media. And I didn't just focus on the numbers, I spread my message on different platforms. Yes. And over the years, after consistency, we realized that we've been making an extraordinary impact. And this was who I was before I ever came to social media, right, family? So now that we little fledgling Black media folks who use alternative media, independent media, have been making impact, whose messages is resonating with the streets, and that's controlling the narrative of mainstream media. Now the powers that be who laughed at us are now threatened by us. Watch this. And they do everything that they can to censor us, yes, to punish us, get us demonetized, and a bunch of other stuff. Are y'all hearing me? Now, how many of you all heard, for example, a little bit about the Twitter files? How many of you all remember hearing that? I'm going to show you the clip. Like I said, I literally got to go in about 10 minutes or so. How many of you all remember hearing about the Twitter files? Well, if I give you a little overview of, for example, NPR's piece here, it talks about in one of their articles how the Twitter owner, Elon Musk, says he's pulling back the curtain on how the social network has handled high-profile content moderation decisions, including banning then President Donald Trump after his supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. It talks about, in this Twitter files, it talks about bombshell revelations proving, are y'all listening? Bombshell revelations proving that Twitter, like I said, some of you all probably already know about this, but I want to just briefly talk about this in principle, that Twitter intentionally muzzled conservatives because of their political views. Twitter didn't just muzzle conservatives, but this piece says that. I love you back. Because of their political views. That's a long-running claim by Republicans who are convinced social media companies censor them despite ample evidence to the contrary. Twitter's internal researchers, for example, have found its algorithms. They saying a bunch of miscellaneous stuff here. I thought they were going to do this piece. Okay, here it is. This is what I'm looking for. The section that says, what are the Twitter files? There's a collection of internal emails and Slack chats capturing Twitter employees discussing company policies and fraud moderation calls. They've uncovered decisions to ban Trump and some other stuff, to block news. And in particular, family, I'm right now, I'm winging it. I'm not even reading from that particular article because it's not giving me really what it ought to be given. Thank you for your kind compliments, Betty. She said, you look fabulous. Thank you, precious. But basically, the Twitter files revealed that the government, that your Democrat government in particular, Joe Biden, was putting pressure on a lot of the social media platforms to censor even truthful statements, for example, about COVID. So this is a bunch of BS that they just targeted conservatives and left-leaning folks. You know, we're not going to go there. This is what I'm talking about when it comes down to these MAGA nuts and these conservatives, and even for that matter, the Democrats and everybody else. Now all of them crying, talking about how the FBI has been weaponized against them because what they're doing with Trump and all them knuckleheads out there. But none of them had anything to say when it comes down to our Black revolutionaries and some of us that have experienced the injustice of these government agencies. Nobody ever said anything when we proved in no limit of time over and 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 over the malfeasance and the criminality and the complicity in Black murder. None of them ever had anything to say about that. Did you all hear what I just said? Nobody cared about juicy, little funny looking J. Edgar Hoover weaponizing the FBI against all of us. Nobody cared when the stuff came out, even not too long ago, about some of the Black Lives Matter protests and how the FBI was among them and set some of them folks up. That's in recent history. And even, in fact, out here specifically in Colorado, that's where one of the main cases was busted. That doesn't surprise me at all. So I'm bringing up the Twitter files in particular because a lot of that information we found that not only Twitter, but also a lot of the other platforms censored true information or even controversial information knowingly after being pressed by the government. So when some of us looked up and we saw some of our videos missing, or they demonetized some of us, and of course I was experiencing this before COVID, but you know, especially during COVID, they were attacking us first. We were some of the first ones that were starting to ask questions. Now they told us to wash our hands. We was like, okay. For 5 minutes, when they told us to put on masks, we was like, okay. But then when they start pushing them shots and they were saying shots and shots and nothing else but shots, when they started telling us don't even go outside for exercise and get sunshine, when they started shutting down the gym, see, we knew something was up. When they started giving Black women and children, families and stuff, Black families money to go get the shot. When we saw that they was remixing hip hop songs to encourage you to go get the shot. Talk black to me, somebody. When they were sending rides and paying for Ubers, we knew something was wrong. When whole cities and towns and businesses start to collapse, when people start losing their homes, foreclosing, getting evicted, and cars being repoed and stuff, we said, no, something's the matter. And I did breaking coverage because I had whistleblowers from insurance companies that gave me information that I provided you all with without compromising their names. And I gave you all credible whistleblower information and documentation and receipts from somebody that was in the military that talked about what they were doing in the U.S. military with the shots and COVID. So I'm bringing this up because I want you to know that these media outlets and these platforms work in tandem with the government, and the information that they pump out to you is stuff that the government approves. So when they come for you and they start saying stuff, when all of a sudden you hear everybody start dogging social media and talking about how toxic and vile it is, and of course we know there are toxic elements of social media. But baby, before social media blew up, they were putting us in illegal wars because of white mainstream legacy media. Some of y'all are out of y'all minds when you act like ratchetness came into existence with social media. Black family, how did George Bush and the Reagans use media against us before social media? How were they stereotyping us? Even long before that, what about blackface? Anti-Black media has always been essential and a part of the white supremacist systems and institutions. But because they change media, don't start acting like social media is worse than all the rest of them, when the reason why we were dogged in the first place amongst many in society was because of how they depicted us in the newspapers and in cartoons and whatever media was available at that time. Some of you done lost your minds. Now watch this. Now it's one thing for us to give a legit criticism of social media without us saying we need to get rid of social media. See, you got to be careful when your open enemy gets you to join in. When you all start joining in, yeah, I hate social media. It's so toxic. Y'all just doing. When you go to agreeing, that's when they slick past laws that all of a sudden silence you, and you look up and not realizing that you were actually a part of the individuals that gave them cover. So they hid and buried in the fine print their intentions to actually silence you. But they make it seem like it's just Trump and one or two others at that particular time. That's the reason why we got to throw this. Let's get this out of here. Meanwhile, you're not realizing that you're being unwittingly lured in to silence yourself. Yes, I hit the gavel for you, beloved. Did you all hear what I said? So you got to be careful. They were doing that because they are threatened by our legitimacy. They all then folks to go to talk about who else she get her, who told her she's a journalist. I'm not. But for those who call themselves a journalist, that's not on MSNBC, ABC, CBS, Fox News, and mainstream dead media. They want you to believe that that's not legit. They want you to believe that because you didn't graduate from Harvard or Howard, you are nobody and what you say doesn't matter. That's a trick. So they were threatened by a power. We were mocked at first, early on. We were laughed at first. But then we started resonating, and then presidential candidates started using our talking points. Then all of a sudden, when they hit the streets, and when they give organizations like Jesse Jackson's organization money to go out there and to push Black voting, and nobody but the cameraman and the man that pushes wheelchair show up. No disrespect, but that's the truth. Y'all know I'm overcoming serious illnesses and stuff, so I would never mock anybody's condition, but that's the truth. The pictures show it. The people that showed up was the person that was pushing your wheelchair and the camera people. They made up half the attendees. So they're saying to themselves, we know that our Democrat puppets and shields aren't out here pushing reparations, pushing an anti-Black crime bill. What the hell, all of a sudden these people are codified and talking the same talk and speaking the same narrative. That it didn't matter if they in Colorado, Mississippi, Texas, New York, talk Black to me somebody, or California. They're wanting to know how in the world, what in the world is going on. They said, we know darn well that our Democrat shields aren't telling them this, where they get this from. So they start looking at us. And they start scheming. So then they send their Roland Martins and stuff out, their Congressional Black Caucuses, and their Tiffany Crosses. Now, Tiffany Cross, I mentioned this yesterday, Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye and Andrew Gillum, they got a new podcast that Charlamagne put together for them. Now, these are all mainstream Black rejects. That's fine. I don't hate on nobody's broadcast and stuff. But what got me, and this is what I forgot to finish telling y'all yesterday, was Tiffany, if somebody was circulating a clip of their podcast. So she was carrying on, and Angela was crying and stuff, talking about they finna tell the truth of what happened to MSNBC for Tiffany. And then, of course, Angela was talking about what really happened with her on CNN. Now, when we was going off on CNN and MSNBC while they were there calling out their anti-Black coverage, everything was cool. Y'all was defending them. And you certainly were silent on our criticism. Now that you out, they threw you all away. They stomped you. They ran over you with their political car. They backed up, ran over you again. They turned around and they did a U-turn on you while you was laying on the ground. Oh, God, today. Your purse was out there. They rolled over on your purse. Makeup and your mirrors crashed and cracked. So now all of a sudden that they felt that they had a shoe in with these white networks that were accepted and they still had legit contracts. Now that they threw their funny looking selves away, now they want to come out and give a tell-all. Okay, my assistant's telling me I got to get ready to go, family. Just a minute, my appointment is coming up. Watch this. So, Tiffany gonna sit there and try to tell us all the stuff MSNBC was doing and how hard it was for her to talk about Black issues and how they was just so pro us and all the stuff that they was trying to do for us. Watch this. How many of y'all remember that clip I showed you of Tiffany Cross on there with Roland Martin's funny looking self? See, she should have known her destiny was going to be fired right after she brought Roland on again. She started bringing Roland on as a recurring guest on the weekend because that's the only show they give to Blacks over there. George's show was on the weekend too. I'm going to show you something real quick. Watch this. So, right after when she got her show, what did Tiffany wants you to believe that they was trying to silence her? They was trying to come against her. What did Tiffany Cross, among many, many other negative alternative Black media statements that she made, what did she specifically say to her audience on that weekend? She told her audience, on her weekend audience, with Roland as one of her guests, do not listen to some of our Black grassroots folks. And she specifically named a couple, including our brother Tariq Nasheed. You mean to tell us that the white network compelled you to go on there and tell the world don't listen to them? I want y'all to think about that. Now they sitting up here crying us a river, trying to give a whole tell-all about the stuff that CNN and MSNBC did to shut them down. But they were using those very white networks to literally tell the world, don't listen to them. I want y'all to think about that. I don't want to listen to no podcasts or rejects that Charlemagne done try to resurrect from the dead because these are his buddies. And he feel bad because he know about playing the game, because when Ye came out to call out them folks, he was sitting there stabbing them all up in the back. And white folks came to Charlemagne's rescue to make it look like he wasn't anti-Semitic. Charlemagne got very serious alleged charges that folks have made against him, alleged acts of crime, criminal acts that some have alleged against him, but he's managed to weather the storm when nobody else has. Who's backing him and why is the question. Talk black to me, somebody. So I'm bringing that up because the Twitter files, as I mentioned before, show where the government was literally telling Twitter, Facebook, and other social media folks, shut them down. Don't let their stuff go. Target them. Where there's a judge now that has said, that's got an injunction against the government saying that that's illegal. And some people believe that that case is actually going to make its way to the Supreme Court, which it very well might. And I hope it does. But these are things that we've been complaining about for a long time. But now that white folks are caught up, now everybody's trying to say everything is horrible and terrible in all these institutions and media. Which this is happening to them because they failed to act when it's happened to us. Watch this. And that's fine with me. Listen. Keep that in mind with how they work with the White House and with the government to shut us down. Because they don't want you listening to us. Okay? That's the case with the oppressive class and their establishments and systems. But it's the case that their handlers, which are often blackface folks like J0e, less Reid, are the ones that make sure that they don't ever cover anything that matters to us and that they continue to push the Democrat or Republican imperialist talking points and that they keep us shut down. Watch this. So J0e, I don't know if y'all remember a year or two ago, I did a broadcast where some credible information had come that J0e was going to be axed pretty soon. There was some accurate information that came out of the same source before. And then based on information and belief, I have to say this, allegedly, they did everything they could to keep J0e there for a minute because right when they was doing the elections, they were nervous that black folks was going to turn sour even more if she lost her little token position. And so because MSNBC's numbers were already horrible and terrible pretty much across the board, J0e's numbers were horrible and terrible, but so was everybody else's. And so till they can get somebody else who can at least raise up the numbers by 1 or 2 extra viewers a night. By default, she kept her job. But she kept her job by effectively acting as state-run media, functionally. Now, they want to tell you that Russia and China is state-run media. In other words, they try to tell you that the media only says what the government tells them to say. I'm trying to tell you, no, that's the case here in the United States. Functionally, they are state-run media. So they can't stand us. And now some of them are in trouble for dictating to these alternative platforms to shut us up. Keep that in mind. Now, J0e who's been doing everything she can to keep her job, notwithstanding the horrible, terrible ratings that they're dealing with. They're trying to find somebody that can raise those ratings from the dead, which they won't find them for long. So out of desperation, they're keeping her because they're terrible across the board, allegedly. Well, J0e has not been pushing reparations for us. J0e has not been dealing with issues that we have said are essential. J0e has been covering for Joe Biden's racism and anti-blackness. And so have all the rest of them. J0e keeps pushing Hillary Clinton. J0e is still pushing this imperialist government's agenda. Watch this. Watch this. So she got in trouble a couple of times. Sometime back, y'all remember they claimed that some old articles that she wrote, they claimed was homophobic, which is just crazy. But whatever, she believed she when she came out, she turned around and said something about her thing was hacked. She was acting like some Russians hacked her blog. How many of y'all remember that? So J0e did a whole show and brought on LaJuicy, Jonathan Capehart. She brought on a couple of other people to forgive her of her sins before the world and talk about how horrible and terrible that is. Y'all remember that? So she did all that out of complete desperation for MSNBC to keep her on. There was a whole scandal. Now, I don't believe her statements was, homophobic, but them folks do. And so in order for her to keep her job, she has to, play up to that. So she did everything she could to apologize. It was just outrageous. So she did all that. She's been getting in trouble here and there for stuff. Do you all know the reason why J0e kept her job at one time is because Sean Hannity of Fox News actually advocated for J0e to keep her job? Did you all know that? That's how you know it's a game. Sean Hannity of Fox News came out and admitted that he made a suggestion that they not get rid of J0e when she was going through one of her scandals at MSNBC. And for those of you that don't understand that media is a game and they playing you, because Sean Hannity of Fox News like the dynamic of black and white. They like using her as a target to play with their audience to make it look like there's some big boogeyman, black, dark-skinned enemy out there that works for a liberal network. And vice versa. Only you will rarely hear J0e specifically name Sean Hannity. She would talk about Carlson Tuckerson. What's his name? Tucker Carlson. She'll talk about Fox News in general, but she was very careful not to strategically go after Sean. So that's a game for them. That's a media game. They both agree that we don't get reparations. They both agree that America should still help Israel with genocide. They both agree with AIPAC. Keep that in mind. So J0e, Brother Zebulon said the barbershop got you on. Oh, that's so precious. Tell my beautiful brothers at the barbershop. I'm going to screenshot your comment. Tell the brothers I said thank you so much for their support. Watch this. Family, so I bring all that up to let you all know all the dynamics that's at work. So J0e has been very careful not to offend white folks. Even, they fired the Muslim guy on MSNBC, right? Recently. They fired all these other folks. They fired Tiffany. Y'all remember that, right? When J0e was there. They getting rid of black folks. They getting rid of anybody. That's controversial. J0e is maintained. Somebody said, Vicki, you too black, too strong. They can take you down. Watch this. But the spirit that's in us is greater than the spirit that's in the world. And baby, you best believe what you said is exactly right, baby. But we taking over with our own throne in our own way. We're using a foolish way to do it. Watch this. Keep all that in mind with what I said, okay? So J0e has been careful to pretend like that everything is good. Remember, they've been silencing black folks because we've been objecting to these illegal immigrants coming up in here, right? How many of y'all know the back-to-back coverage? I've been doing coverage here. I've been doing coverage on African Diaspora News Channel. I post clips on multiple other platforms about this. They are mad, and they have not been given attention to their most faithful voting bloc who's been objecting to turning their cities into sanctuary cities. How many of y'all been keeping up with that with us? J0e has made sure not to bring folks like us on to talk about that. She wants Black folks to shut up, and so does the rest of them, right? Now, y'all know that J0e has an immigrant background, and we don't have no disrespect. It ain't no problem. The problem is when the Black immigrants, you come over here and you start wagging your finger in our face, telling us what to do. You all come over here and start being allies with our open enemies. Then that's when we got to put you in your place. Watch. So J0e is mad at us because we've been talking about reparations specifically for foundational Black people. And because we have been objecting to open borders, and we've been objecting to making our cities sanctuary cities because they've been giving resources and tangibles to foreign criminals, and they haven't paid us reparations. They step over homeless Black veterans and homeless Black families to give shelter to illegals. Some of us got loved ones that was in prison for petty crimes who was just trying to put food on the table. They haven't violated the law in God knows how many years. They won't clean their record for them, but they're trying to clean records of millions and millions of illegals in the country. J0e does not want us to object to the Democrats' immigration policy, right? Now keep all that in mind. I got to go in 2 minutes. Keep all that in mind while I play you this. Again, this video is under the Copyright Act. It took me a minute to get to where I was going, but watch this. J0e is in trouble, y'all. J0e is in big trouble. J0e in trouble. Watch this. Y'all ready? Let me get my volume. Right. This. Look. Oh, by the way, she uses a cuss word. So if you got a child, be mindful that she uses a cuss word. This is one of the reasons she's in trouble. Believe it or not, it's not the cuss word. This is why she's in trouble. I'm going to tell you the reason she's in trouble. Watch this.
In the border issue.
Okay.
If that bill were the law to...
Y'all ready?
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving. Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war. Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is...
Did y'all hear her? She was accidentally caught on the hot mic. She didn't know that her team didn't shut off her mic. So after they played the clip, she thought she was good. Y'all watch again. Again, if you got babies, y'all know I don't do no cussing videos on this channel like that. But watch this. Watch this. It ain't the cussing. That ain't why she got in trouble. If y'all think it's the F-bomb, you out your mind. You listen to the prophetic and the accurate Black media that's coming from the grassroots. This is why the powers that shouldn't be don't like me. It ain't the F word. She trying to make it like it's that. Watch this. Pay attention to the topic. Y'all listening? Twin said, get them, Vicki. Y'all listen to the topic. This is about immigration, family. And this is Joe Biden making a speech. I want y'all to understand. I got to have intelligent Black folks. See, you don't believe just what they tell you. You don't come to common conclusions. Listen. One more time. What's the topic?
Biden said he's ready to take action if over the weekend.
Again, look at the headline. The ticker under her says, Republicans take credit for stuff they voted against, right? So now Joe Biden has come out making a speech with his incoherent, funny-looking self. Need to go home and take a nap and never, ever come back to our White House. Listen.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war. Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
Okay, I got to stop playing it now. Watch. Vicki, where you going? Before y'all sit up here and think, this is just my opinion. This is Vicki's opinion based on information and belief. Now, when you look it up, all the comments, most of the comments that's coming out, and I went through 3 different articles, and they said, oh, it's unclear who she was referring to when she said starting another effing war. Folks are talking about the fact that she was moving into a segment on Trump, right? Ooh, Vicki, sexy voice. You're so crazy, Don. Listen, and everybody keeps talking about how the segment was called Republicans Take Credit for Stuff That They Voted Against. But listen to Joe Biden, family.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
Y'all hearing it? Joe Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is willing to seriously take this up, right? So Joe Biden does a speech, and listen to Joe Biden's language in his speech about immigration. It's very different than what it has been in the past.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Since when has Joe Biden ever said he would shut down the border right now and Congress needs to get it done? The reason they're doing this is because they're seeing that his black constituency all over the country is vehemently fighting against open borders. And they know that the issue where the Republicans are making great gains is the fact that they are hammering the Democrats with open borders. So Joe Biden is trying to put it on the Republicans by saying, Congress, get it done. And he starts it, though, by saying, I will shut down the border. Did y'all catch that? They never said that before. So J0e already knows where the Republicans stand on this. She's done many broadcasts calling the Republicans racist, talking about Donald Trump and how he dogged all the immigrants, but he still ended up getting a large Cuban and Hispanic vote when he ran, even though he disrespected all of them when he started his campaign some years ago when he ran. Everybody's been talking about them doing this. This has been in the news for a little bit now. So who was she talking about? Was she talking about the Republicans, who she talks about every night concerning immigration and calling them racist because of their border position? Who is she saying starting another effing war? So just so you know, at the end of the broadcast, J0e came on and apologized, she said, for using the F word. She said, basically, y'all caught behind the scenes conversation. She said, I try to keep my show PG, but I apologize for using the F word. She repeatedly apologized. Don't be dumb. J0e is very slick because everybody's saying, well, she was talking about the Republicans. She was talking about immigration, right? She is talking about those Republicans in Texas and all them that's ignoring the courts, putting up all that razor wire and refusing to pay attention to any of their orders, right? Now they want Joe Biden, I think, to federalize some of the folks so that they can basically get into a confrontation with the Republicans. So when folks say it's unclear who she's talking about, I say, in my opinion, it's very clear she's talking about Joe Biden for 2 reasons. Why, Vicki, when it is unclear, when she says starting another effing war, why wouldn't she be talking about the Republicans? Because it's the Republicans that's refusing to heed the court's demand to remove the razor wire. It's the Republicans that's doubling down about the border. No, the Republicans have always been about that. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why she's talking about Joe Biden, in my opinion.
I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quick.
Listen.
If that bill were the...
And President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war.
Number one, J0e is pissed because she desperately believes in the rights of immigrants and them getting tangibles over Black Americans getting tangibles. You will never in your lifetime hear J0e Reid called on the hot mic cussing somebody out because they're not doing us right by reparations. Now, I'm in media, but I'm in alternative media. So I understand the fact that if I've said something or something I didn't want you all to hear or something like that might get caught. And I don't want you to hear me say this or that word. That ain't the issue. I understand that. She's tripping not because she used the F word. She's tripping because she's exposed, because in her heart, she knows that the Democrats, she disagrees with the Democrats, and she's disagreeing with Joe Biden. Number one is because she believes in immigrant rights. She comes from an immigrant family, so she believes in their prioritization over us. Number two, she said, what did J0e say without saying the word in the chat, family? What did she say on the mic?
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war.
She said, starting another effing war. Who started the other war? Who started? If you're saying starting another effing war, she can't be talking about Trump. She knows that Joe Biden is in big trouble because we are the ones that are equally responsible for the war that's happening to the Gazan people and the genocide. We're providing Israel the billions of dollars. We gave them extra billions when the war came down. Joe Biden wasn't even meeting with Netanyahu. But when this incident happened, October 7th, he started meeting with him. Everybody is mad, including Joe Biden's base, over the genocide. So who else is she talking about when she says starting another effing war? None of mainstream media gonna say it. So you all go out there and you go run and tell it. So when they say it's not clear who she's talking about, I want you all to say, Vicki told us exactly who she meant. She can't be talking about Trump starting another war. Right? She can't be talking about Trump. It's Joe Biden who's losing even more support from his own base because of the war with the Palestinian people that America is 100% complicit for. She said, starting another effing war. She can't be talking about Trump. Of course, she's talking about Joe Biden. And she's pissed at Joe Biden because the Democrats are not known for coming out and unequivocally saying and using language like, I would shut the border down. That's why she's mad at him, because they never wanted to hear him say the language that some of the Republicans are using by shutting the border down. Joe Biden is desperate because Joe Biden knows he's in trouble with his Black constituency, his most faithful voting bloc with us. He's now in trouble with even the youth, white youth, and some of his Muslim voters because of the Palestinian, the genocide. Watch this. And now he knows that one of the reasons why that the Republicans are going to be continuing to making great gains against him, that's on the minds of so many Americans, is the borders. So he's trying to sound like he's really tough. So this is one of the first times in that way that you heard a Democrat use the language, I would shut down the border. Trump ain't in no war right now. It's Joe Biden that's being blamed for a war already. And not just that, what else happened? How many of you all know about those 3 Black soldiers that we found out was just murdered? Talk black to me, somebody. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. The 3 servicemen that was killed and others injured in that Jordan following the drone attack. How many of y'all know who they are? Guess who they are? The White House didn't want to come out with these pictures. And even if when you go to the Pentagon's website, they're not making those images readily available. Like some of the others are. This is who was killed in that recent attack. All of them black. Look, all of them black. So Joe Biden came out when they was asked about whether or not they're going to do something. He sounded equivocal about that. Then y'all know he's being blamed for instigating stuff with Iran. They're getting all of the Middle East. So, baby, when Joy said starting another effing war, she's talking about Joe Biden. It's not unclear. It's very, very clear. And she came out and made it about the F word. Everybody is tripping because Joy was caught criticizing the Democrats. So Joy right now is shaking in her boots because privately in her heart, she disagrees. Now, you ain't never going to catch her on no mic cussing nobody out for black folks, but she big mad about that immigration stuff, which again lets you know that your black face folks don't have our interest in mind first. You busted, Joy. We done figured it out. That's my belief. My name is Vicki Dillard. I'm your sister with the curly braids, beloved. Mark your calendars for Sunday, February 11th. The link is in the chat for only $30-something. I want you to attend my 911 offline pandemic. How many of y'all remember? I've done 3 previous ones, 2. A couple of them I did with Brother Rizza Islam. I did another one with Dr. Rowling. And this one, beloved, I'm going to give you information about what took place, what's been taking place in secret councils with the modern neo-Illuminati, and how they used the pandemic before to control the world, and they're already planning something else. And we're going to talk about what we can do about it spiritually and metaphysically. J0e Styling said, I watch it with my mother. Hey, precious, tell mama I said hi. I love y'all so much. Somebody else said that they remember. Yes, Kimberly, that's my sister. Everybody be sure to register. Get your seat. Today. It's only $30-something. Tell everybody you know. This is going to be a powerful event. I'm going to break down some past things that took place in the agenda. I'm going to talk to you from a spiritual perspective on what our channel from the unseen realms and what we can do about it. Do you all know that we were very instrumental in foiling the original plan? That's why they're big mad at us. And if you think for 1 second they're getting ready to stop now, you're out of your mind. Please understand they're trying to they're trying to beat out the clock for a prophecy. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to win. But these are only for my world leaders. So for $30-something for a 2-hour webinar so that we can speak without interruption and without worrying about these platforms trying to shut us down. I'm going to talk to you about real metaphysical solutions, but I'm going to give you the breakdown first. You don't want to miss it. The link is in the chat, or just go to my website at VickiPlanet.com. That's VICKI planet.com. Family, I love you so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids. I bow to you. I got to run. You are my bliss. I can't wait to see you again.